All right, I'm with Justin Zackal, the new sports information director here at Westminster College. Justin, good to have you. Thanks
Oh,
for
it's good
coming
to be
in.
here. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you stopping by. First off, just give me a little background information, where you went to school, did you play any sports in college, where you were originally from, hometown.
Well, I'm originally from Greene County, Pennsylvania, and as you know, that with nearby Waynesburg College, I went to it's the arch rival of the Westminster College athletic teams. But it was nice. I got to stay close to home, and I went to a small school with a small setting. But after I got my bachelor's degree, I wanted to try out what it's like at with big time sports at the Division I level. So I went and got my master's degree at West Virginia University, which was also close by to where I'm from, and I also worked in their sports information department there. So it was a good. It was good for me because I got to experience, some people, they go to school, a small school, and they kind of, wonder what it's like to be at a big school,
Right.
and I got to experience, both sides of that.
All right, now take me through, some people around the community honestly probably don't even know what an SID is. Obviously, we know. I'm in the sports here at college. I know exactly what you do. I know every time I check the scores, it's thanks to you. But give the people out there who don't know exactly what an SID is and what your responsibilities are. Walk me through your day. Walk me through a day in the life of Justin Zackal as an SID.
Well, it's one of those. It's sometimes a thankless job. I mean, you have to work a lot of long hours, a lot of nights and weekends. Just because the sports calendar, the way it works is a lot especially with academic with the academic calendar, a lot of the teams compete on the weekends, and a lot of teams compete in the evenings just for the matter of not missing class and just get more attendance at some of the events. But typical day, I mean, it's your crunch time is always at the end of the day because you want to report all the day's results to the local newspapers. I mean, your number one priority is media relations, and that's just the maintenance of information and making sure that the results appear in the next day's paper and providing all that information. But during the day, it's all preparation, working with publications. As an SID, you're responsible for the media guides and updating websites, and so from that standpoint, in the earlier part of the day, it's a lot of preparation for that evening's events. Also, an SID is responsible for for the coverage of each event. You're responsible for the public address announcer, the and his script or his or her script. You're also responsible for the statistics of all the events, and that corresponds with reporting over the results. So there's a lot that goes into it, and it's also good because you're not just sitting behind a computer during the day, laying out media guides. You're also, there's a lot of writing aspect involved, a lot of graphic design. You can dabble into a little bit of photography, and then of course the statistics. So you have to be you have to have a lot of different skill sets to really perform well in this particular profession.
Okay. Westminster College is actually, kind of considered adopting a sports communication major here, which I think would be great. And right now all we have really is a broadcast communication major, which a lot of us sports guys kind of incorporate the two, sports with broadcasting, kind of to make our own sports broadcasting major. What are your thoughts on maybe having a sports communication major at Westminster College? I mean, so far you've been here, a month or two. How do you think that would go over at a school like this?
Well, I think it's great. I mean, there is sometimes a little bit of a buffer between, you have the public relations side and the writing side, and that kind of falls into the English department with the newspaper and everything. And then you have the broadcast side. But at a lot of operations, those people work hand in hand. Especially when I worked at West Virginia, we had the Mountaineer Sports Network, which was all the broadcasting for radio and TV. They worked within our office as sports information professionals, and we worked hand in hand with them. And it would be, it's advantageous to somebody to get experience in both the broadcast side and the public relations side within the same curriculum. And I think that's very beneficial for any school to adopt that program, just because of the way that people work hand in hand, particularly in the sports business with those different fields.
Okay, yeah. How about as far as offering advice to, kids like guys like me, junior year, younger than us, younger than myself, what kind of advice can you offer for those interested in maybe pursuing a career in sports communication? What kind of advice can you give us, as far as ending up where you're at right now?
I think the biggest thing is, at first you're going to have to do a lot of work, for low pay. I mean, that's like that in a lot of professions, but just kind of taking on, making contacts and taking on, the experience first. Because one thing that I learned is once I started in one area, working and doing things for, low pay or just the experience, it led to another contact with somebody else. And then eventually it kind of snowballs, and the next thing you know, you have a full-time job, working in the field. And the second thing I would say is to be positive. Just really have a lot of passion for what you do. And with sports involved, so many people have a passion for sports, and that's easy for some people to do. Another thing is to, not just to get caught up in being a fan, but also being just being kind of a fan of your work. I mean, just looking at what other schools are doing. One of the greatest thing about this job is you get to share ideas with other schools, whether it's what type of media guides we put out. I love collecting other schools' media guides, and I flip through them and I devour them just because I say, well, look at this. This is something we can incorporate into our program, and just being cognizant of what other schools are doing. That's how I really developed, my trade is. When I started at Waynesburg, I was their first full-time sports information director. So I kind of built the operation from scratch. And a couple of people asked me, it's like, well, how did you know to do this? And how did you know and it was easy. I just looked at other schools. And even Westminster was one of the schools I really looked at and see what they were doing, because within the conference, and Joe Anderko has been here, what was here for 12 years. And I looked at a lot of things that he did. I looked at a lot of other schools. Our first football media guide that we put out, I took it, just from collecting all different ideas from other schools. And I think that's probably the best advice, is just to, go on internet websites and look at what other schools are putting out, and just kind of emulating what they do.
All right. Well, hey, thanks a lot, Justin. I appreciate it, and best of luck to rest of the season. Hope everything gets in place for you. You living around here? You traveling back and forth?
I'm living right outside of town, about 3 miles outside of town. So it's not like I'm on campus, but I get that little, I get to escape every day for a little bit. So
yeah. Well, I'm glad to have you aboard. Thanks a lot, Justin.
Well, thank you.